Thank you for the opportunity of speaking at the Future of Manufacturing in the Hunter seminar. I'm Alan Steber, the Managing Director of Steber International, based here in Taree, New South Wales. But first, I'll give you a brief history of our company. It is 67 years old, founded by Bruce and Beryl Steber, my parents, and manufacturing originally commenced in Narrabeen in Sydney as a backyard business in timber boats, then progressing further up into the fiberglass boats in 1961, then into a retail outlet, further manufacturing again, further expansions, and ultimately in 1973-74 the company took a major expansion to relocate to regional New South Wales in Taree under the decentralisation program in those days. The company took a major expansion after decentralisation. We were producing small runabouts, and then with enormous amount of competition from flop moulding, where dealers would take an existing current model and flop mould it, which again at the time was not necessarily illegal, but certainly improper. And we progressed into developing the larger range of boats. The first was a 32-footer and then continued on right up to 52-foot in the early 90s, and then later on we have progressed even further up to 65 feet. But first, what I'd like to show you is a bit of a short video of our industry. This is the super yacht video of our marine industry. Take a look at this, it's quite stunning. I think you'll agree, some of those boats are pretty magnificent, high-performance craft, some of which have been manufactured and serviced in the Hunter region, and it is impressive. I also am of the opinion that those boats are spread around the tourist areas in Australia. They are super yachts, and we're pretty proud of our industry. They represent our marine industry, and we need to carry on servicing those for the future. And part of our joint ventures that I'll talk of later on are to relate to what we can provide in the service field in our super yacht industry. Although we don't make those big boats, we actually can service them. But we build boats that rescue, police, patrol and rescue boats that can actually bring those back home if they fail. Some of those boats can catch on fire very easy, as you would know, but some of them break down, and even the super yachts and the super ships still break down and still need to be rescued. And that's where we step in, and we're pretty proud of it. Our company's always had the ability to diversify basically as major turning points within the organisation. We've been flexible enough to go with the demand for commercial fishing boats, police and patrol and rescue boats, recreational cruisers, even industrial fiberglass work. We built train components. We built from fiberglass boxes to fishing trawler assistance. We've worked within the industry from industrial right through to the recreational industry. We've had to diversify to keep our skills up. We've got many apprentices over the years, probably about 150 apprentice shipwrights that we've brought to a head. But the major turning points has kept us alive and stimulated. Recently, we've conducted refit programs. We would be turning over in excess of $1 million a year just in a refit program, where vessels come in, new engines, new cabinetry, fit out of carpets, upholstery work and a new electronics. It is a great support for the industry, especially when the economy is tight. People tend to spend more on the refit services. They can't afford a new vessel. It's been very rewarding for our organisation. The other major turning point is moving from the timber to fiberglass in those early days. Then relocating has been a major turning point. But you can imagine the engineering firms out there that are building or were building steel boats then have progressed into aluminium. Aluminium has not been around that long and people have progressed into it. The same thing as we've worked on sandwich core construction from standard monolaminates. We've had to move with the times as the rest of the industry's had to move with the times. We've been at the forefront of that technology. Research and development. We've continued on enormous programs over the years with research and development. We've got about 17 programs that we're working on from our mission statement in the last 4 years leading up for the next 4 to 5 years. And those can all vary from shapes of rudders right through to the brand new series in the last 12 months of our SSS Blue Bottle. The SSS is basically a joint venture with Steber's and Solar Sailor, which you would know from the Hunter Group, linked in with the Blue Bottle, which is an unmanned surface vessel. Basically, it's a platform on the water, a battery pack on the water that can sail around to a waypoint. If it's bad weather, the sails can fold out. It might get blown off course in a cyclone. When it's ready, the sails will pop back up again and sail back to its waypoint or to its destination. These blue bottles, there's 3 in the range that we've worked on at the moment, from 5.9 metres to fit inside a container, 3.5 metres, and then the 2 metre blue Nemo. The range is diversified because there is need for smaller craft, for scientific research, where the CSIRO have looked at a joint program to get technology information from the water surfaces, the temperatures, the salinity levels, pollution levels, perhaps off the Great Barrier Reef, right through to the security system around Christmas Islands for boat people coming into the country, to detect people coming near oil and gas rigs, perhaps private islands where they need to have a 24/7 monitoring system that can operate at sea. The concept originally came to head where you may have 50 people operating one ship. Reverse the role, you've got 50 ships called blue bottles that are out there reporting back to one person on a factory site or in a dry land. The program has turned a lot of heads within the defence industry, a lot of heads out there in the security fields, and more importantly, it's turned a lot of heads for the other countries. The export potential is enormous, and we are striving for more development. We've completed a lot of tank testing. It's progressed further than we'd anticipated in the early stages, and our R&D team is really enthused. Our CNC router hasn't stopped doing some of the fine work, making plugs and mould work, and I've got a model behind me, and we'll have a look at the real thing shortly, which is the Blue Stinger. So I'll comment on that. But first, let's have a little look at the concept and the design work and the team that's put the Blue Bottle together. Take a look.
With the surveillance and security problems of modern marine borders on the minds of all world leaders, patrol and observation of vast areas of coastlines in a cost-effective way is becoming a priority for many nations. Now, with the partnership and combination between two of Australia's best-known, award-winning marine companies, the economical solution is here. Steber International, the Australian-based commercial boat building company, has formed a partnership with the world-renowned and innovative marine technology company Solar Sailor. Steber International manufacture a large range of commercial fiberglass craft built to the Australian-New Zealand ISO 9001 quality assurance standards and ranging in size from 22 to 65 foot. Solar Sailor's development of hybrid technology over many years has led them to expand their already impressive maritime range by developing a range of unique unmanned surface vessels called SSS Blue Bottles. To date, our 3 units in the range are designed specifically for general oceanography, border protection, security and defence. At 1.91 metres, the smaller craft, known as the Blue Nemo, will weigh approximately 200 kilograms, have a draft of 0.65 metres and a speed of up to 2.5 knots. The larger 3.5 metre mid-sized craft, known as the Blue Stinger, will weigh approximately 500 kilograms with 2 customer payload spaces of 20 kilograms each, a speed of 3 to 4 knots and a draft of 1.6 metres. Our largest 5.9 metre, known as Big Blue, will provide a huge customer payload space of 80 kilograms. Standard sensors on all models will include 3-axis yaw sensor, Vemco sound sensor for whale, hydrophone, AIS, conductivity, temperature, pressure, dissolved oxygen sensor, combo fluorometer and turbidity sensor, 2 scattering and 1 fluorescence sensor, true wind speed and direction, accelerometer, air temperature, air pressure, wind chill temp, GPS heading, downward looking eco sounder, acoustic Doppler current profile, ADCP, and gyro stabilized gimbal camera. The larger Stinger and Big Blue models add radar and the flexibility for customer-specific payloads. Blue Bottles are self-sustaining marine platforms running totally on energy available at sea. They require no fuel, supplies or crew. One remote person can control and monitor multiple platforms in a network. Blue Bottle's unique patented design means it has full functionality to Beaufort Sea State 5 and survivability with some mission degradation up to Beaufort Sea State 7. Our models have up to 20 times the power and load carrying capacity compared to known similar USV competitors. Blue Bottles can augment or be an alternative to aerial surveillance or manned ships, increasing capability and decreasing costs. Networking swarms of Blue Bottles can provide an extensive early warning system to guide defence resources into areas of concern.
Well, as you can see, it's pretty exciting, the development that we've got to this stage. But to manufacture the Blue Bottle range is one thing. To develop it is another. And certainly working with Solar Sailor, now stroke OCS, we have to market the product. We can't rely just on our own government and businesses in Australia. We've got to go offshore. So our marketing exercise so far offshore has been quite varied. You can manufacture things, but we've still got to have the ability to sell them with new products. And we don't get any handout from the government. We've got to get in and do it ourselves. We have promoted the product, the Blue Bottle in particular, to Dubai, Qatar, Oman, in the Singapore region at the Asia Pacific Conference for 2014, at the Defence Conference in Sydney for the 100th anniversary of the Navy. That was Pacific 2013. enormous amount, as you can see, representing a vast change in attitude on the security for the future. We were very delighted, and we've got a good leg in the door. Many other countries have looked at it, and we're out there trying to hold back the development of it at this stage until we are absolutely sure that everything is right. This unit will be sent off to sail 200 nautical miles unmanned in various ocean and sea conditions to make sure it is 100% correct. That's all happening as we speak, so it's all very, very good. But the market overseas is in a position we must also promote our existing products. So in hand we are promoting the bottle, but at the same time we're promoting fishing boats. We are looking at a joint venture with Oman to manufacture under licence commercial fishing boats. We just can't rely on what's happening here in Australia to developing our existing models. May not be any sales. So we're now looking at supplementing an income under licence, doing a joint venture with an Omani arrangement to sell fishing boats. They're talking of hundreds of fishing boats in Oman. We've got 4 boats in the United Arab Emirates already, in Qatar, in Dubai. We've had very successful areas in those areas. Some of them are recreational, some of the commercial boats. But while we're there, we're showing the blue bottle. Here's the new latest technology. It is then lifting our profile up within the international scene. We've got boats from Seychelles to Japan to Fiji, Solomon Islands, Noumea, etc., New Zealand, Papua New Guinea. Lots of boats out there in the field. And every time we're going to service these products, we're out there servicing with the model of the blue bottle. Fits in a case, take off offshore, we're out there promoting it. It is exciting. We're getting the thrill back from the customers who in turn are saying, rubbing shoulders, we like what we see, but we also are looking for fishing boats or recreational boats. It's not easy, but we're out there trying to kick butt where we possibly can. Interesting enough, we are also looking at importing some small trailer boats from New Zealand. We've set up a joint venture to bring some of the boats that complement our range of boats. They're not in opposition to them. They're trailerable and extremely high quality. So we worked on this as a joint venture to test the waters. So overall you can see that we are a manufacturer on one hand, we're exporting on the other hand, we're doing our marketing overseas, servicing our existing products, keeping our eyes and ears out for new technology, new ideas, and again new markets, servicing those fields as much as possible. At the same time looking at a new joint venture with a New Zealand company bringing some boats into the area. If we can and get funds or $1 from this organisation, $1 from somewhere else, we can lower our overheads to be more competitive in our domestic market. That's the name of the game. We're out there trying to get on top of the GFC crisis that's affected many manufacturers today. Another important factor that we've looked at in the organisation is servicing our customers. Customer relationship is extremely important. We handle customers through servicing, visiting, boat shows, documentation, support, backup service. It is extremely important for us to do that. We can produce a tender within about 48 hours, depending on what the documents may entail, but we've got to act together to get things out quickly back to the customers. It's very important for us, and we know that it's working because we are getting the calls back. VIP service is the name of the game. And finally, I'd like to comment on the outlook for the future. Steber International is only 67 years young. We're a family business. We've got brothers, both Graham and Colin, coming up through the ranks. There's the 3 of us. We've got a fantastic staff, a stable staff in Taree. We can expand on our present site, which is a 4-acre site with 2 acres of factory and 2 acres of yard. We can produce bigger and better products. We can network further. We can further export. We can further import, supplement the industry and make ourselves grow I'm here to support the hunter manufacturing industry, and I hope that we service and do the industry proud all over. The future looks bright for Steber International. As a family business, we've got to be cautious. We've got to be careful in what we do. And we believe we've got the mix right. We've looked at research and development into many areas, expanding on our commercial and recreational range, as well as exports. However, we must continue to expand our markets. We must look further afield in different countries. We must continue with our research and development. We must increase the size of our craft to 65 feet and beyond. We must improve and continue on. I thank you for listening.